For God so loved the world that He gave. He gave His one and only Son, the only one. The only one worthy He gave as a sacrifice, a slave to bear the burden of all humanity. God loved humanity so deeply and He took redemption so seriously that He gave His only Son, the only one worthy. Now I don't know about you, but I have 4 sons, and would I be able to give up even one? Does my love for humanity stretch that deep? Do I give my all for my commission and call, or is my talk just cheap? When I think about my sons, the only ones I will ever be given, it never crosses my mind that I would have to sacrifice one so that you can be forgiven. I couldn't imagine weight like a ton, like Isaac, Abraham's son, whose life was laid down before Abraham had bound. I couldn't imagine the faith Abraham had as he raised the knife above Isaac, who was no doubt looking back up at his dad. But God Most High intervened and stopped the knife before it plunged into Isaac's chest. It proved Abraham's faith had passed the test. Would my faith pass that kind of test, or would I fail? I would like to say I would, just so you would be impressed, but the truth of the matter is that the answer is more likely the latter. My love for humanity could never run that deep, yet the God of the universe did just that for me. For God did not send His Son into the world to condemn it, but rather the opposite. For God so loved the world that He gave His all for you. He gave it all for you because you are worth it. He gave it all for you because you are His deepest desire. His desire is for your heart to acquire His love for Him. For God so loved the world. For God so loved you. For God so loved me. For God so loved Adam, and God so loved Eve. And God loves Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and God so loved Steve. And God so loved Sean and Jeffrey and Dawn and Eric and Sarah and Derek and Jason. For God so loved Heather and Trevor and Joseph and Mason. For God so loved Muhammad, because God loves all the nations. For God so loved Pete, and God so loved Mike and Sam down the street. God so loved Bailey and Haley and June, and God even loves you when you are strung out of tune. You see, God hates only sin, because sin so easily entangles our mind and penetrates our souls, and it separates us from Him. Sin is division. It's a chasm so great it swallows the lost. It breeds endless hate. Yes, God is love, but He is also the judge. So He holds out His hand for you to accept His plan. For God so loved the world that He gave, and it was more than He could bear, so He had to turn His face as Jesus died in agony so you could share in His grace. As Jesus cried out, "Father, forgive them," that's exactly what He did, and it's because of that moment that you and I can truly live. For God so hates sin, but God so loves people, and God loves His church when they worship in their homes or they worship in a cathedral. You see, God doesn't care if your church has pews or chairs or drums and guitars or pipe organs and art. God only cares that His people have His heart. God hates sin, but God has always loved people. God even loved Hitler and Mussolini and Emperor Hirohito. It doesn't seem fair or just or right, but in all of His creation He never loses sight. God doesn't use karma, but He does employ grace and gives it in abundance when we ask for it in faith. So what can we say in response to all of this? If God is for us, who else can win? He who did not spare His own Son, but gave Him up for us all, saw Him tempted and tried, but never did fall. We are His people, the crown of creation, the dominion over nature, the rulers of nations, co-heirs with Christ in everlasting life if your trust is in Him. He died for your sin and then rose to life and took up His throne in the highest of heights. Death and sin are conquered and defeated because Jesus is true. For God so loved the world, and God so loves you.